I'm Ardra Shepherd, and this is Tripping on Air, a place to talk shit about what it's like to have MS. Normally, I like to make everything about me, but MS also affects the people we love. So weighing in from the partner perspective is Alex Hajar, my friend whose wife also has MS. Join us monthly as we dish about everything from symptoms to stigma. If you have MS or you love someone who does, we want to connect with you. It's time for the 6th annual Tripping on Air Holiday Gift Guide, because the right present can make MS suck just a little bit less. If you're looking for great gifts for people with MS, we've got 19 ideas for the demyelinated person on your list. Plus, stay tuned until the end of the episode for details on how to enter to win one of 16 incredible giveaways that are going to blow your mind.
Of course, the greatest gift is time together. If you missed our last episode, make sure to check out 12 tips for tripping through the holidays on the Tripping on Air podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
Alex, if the greatest gift is time, I feel like the second greatest gift is stockings. Are you stocking people? What's the rule in your household?
Yeah, I mean, so when I was a kid, I have to say my parents were generous. Actually, we got sweets and maybe a toy, and that was sort of the order of the day. And stockings are a big deal even now. And honestly, I prefer them over sort of quote unquote real gifts or whatever. I like consumables like gum and mints, toothpaste. Maybe that's weird, but I'm an adult. A gift card to the grocery store, honestly, is more valuable in this economy than an ill-fitting dress shirt or woven tie.
I feel like the stockings of my adulthood are bougier a bit than the stockings of my youth, but maybe my childhood stockings are not a universal experience. We got like stuff Santa mostly found for free, like the calendar you get from the bank or some toiletries from a motel you stayed at 6 months ago, at least 2 things from the fridge, like an orange and a can of Coke. They're already there. But it's
yeah.
they're still the most fun. I think we should maybe evolve even to birthday stockings. Stockings, I don't know what it is about them. It's like
I'll take a birthday stocking for sure.
All those little treasures. And do you wrap the presents individually in your stocking, or is it just a free-for-all?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the stuff that you put in the stockings now comes in like this really fancy packaging. So you barely have to do it. You just drop it in there. But I'm not offended if I see a bare Tic Tacs case in there. I'm still happy to get the Tic Tacs, you know? My
husband will wrap like a box of Smarties, everything that goes into that stocking.
Wow, that's so much effort.
I know, but it draws out the process of opening them. It makes it more fun.
That's a good point.
He uses too much tape,
All right,
though,
point it.
I gotta say.
Point to carry. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Stockings. There are lots of things that you can throw in a stocking for somebody with MS, and I think stockings are a great way to maybe give that upscale gifts that you wouldn't necessarily normally buy for yourself, like toothpaste. I hope you're getting that for yourself, Alex, but they're like fancier.
It's not a treat, yeah, I guess. But
they're fancier toothpaste. Like maybe this is the time to get one of those flavored, fancy imported toothpaste. Right. You could throw that in a stocking. My brother-in-law's
like a L'Occitane.
Yeah.
Do they make toothpaste? I don't know.
The first time I went to L'Occitane was years and years ago. I had no idea how pricey and bougie their stuff was. I just was like throwing stuff in the cart. I got to the checkout. It was like $400. And I was like...
I was going to say like $400. That's about average, I think, for any of those purchases. I mean, hashtag not sponsored, but I just thought of the bougiest place I could think of.
But if you're normally buying like Life brand hand cream, like a tube of L'Occitane in your stocking, that's great.
And it goes a long way.
And I would say with that, like the bougie hand sanitizer, the stuff that's so nice, you kind of are not sure that it's working. That's a great stocking stuffer gift too. Keep the germs away, keep your hands moisturized in the winter. Maybe like the little more upscale stuff than what you would normally buy.
I agree. The only caveat I think I would mention with that is if someone is sensitive to scents, Sometimes some stores have some really pungent and powerful smells, and some can be really nice, but some can be a little bit off-putting, and you can smell them for hours almost. But they work, and they're not totally offensive, but just be aware, I think, of the smell factor sometimes.
You are now my mom's favorite. She has all kinds of scent allergies, and she definitely appreciates this shout out. There is an unscented company. Pop sockets. Are pop sockets still a thing? You never see people with selfie sticks anymore, but I feel like pop sockets, a cool one. That's a great stocking stuffer for people like me who drop their phone all the time when you're trying to take selfies.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, I don't have one, but like I think my younger cousins use them a lot. They take probably way more selfies than I do, but it's definitely, I saw that on the list, and I think that's a fantastic idea. I think I'm going to invest because it's smart.
Yeah, even my husband and I were just in New York City and we're taking selfies, ussies. Even with his really long arms, it's like,
right.
You need that pop socket. You're going to drop your phone.
They come with like the ring as well, so they don't fall off. It's not even like the sort of the one where you just, it fits in between your fingers. They have the ring as well, which I'm always weirded out because I don't use it, but I think it's actually really good because it's just a bit of a safety feature, right?
Safety for
You're
your
carrying
phone.
like a $1,200 piece of equipment. Yeah. Yeah.
Sleep mask. That's another good stocking stuffer. We all need sleep.
Yeah. Do you indulge in these like sort of high tech ones? I've got friends who have like these sleep masks that play music and soothing noises and kind of.
I need silence and darkness, and I need it to feel like a freezer.
Yeah.
And I need to be under like a big cozy duvet.
Right.
I need all the stars to align. My favorite sleep mask is the one you get for free on an Air France flight. And I was recently lucky enough to fly Air France to Italy. And so I was very, very excited to get that sleep mask in the little kit that they give you. So
Nicole crafted us a couple of them. So we have some homemade ones, and they are good. I've used it a couple times, but I need to get on this Air France tip then. Good reason to go back to Europe.
Yeah, Air France. Shout out to Air France. Feel free to sponsor us.
Right.
Okay, the next stocking stuffer that I have on here is a door magnet, which is going to sound really weird and could be even a weird gift. But we live in an apartment, and the front door is so heavy, and it's on one of those hinges that slams shut. So my husband bought, and didn't call this a gift, but it's a practical, you could throw in a stocking and call it a gift, a magnet, so that when we open the front door, it like holds the door open and I can use my rollator and get through without the door closing on me. It's like such a simple little hack, but it's a massive game changer, right?
Yeah, so I saw it on the list and I was like, what is a door magnet? I have no idea what that meant, but I'm so glad that you explained it because it makes total sense. So we have just some stuff in the way, and it does actually prevent us from, we have to hold it open, and it can be awkward, right? Especially with the rollator, but that sounds amazing.
Especially when you're by yourself, you like throw the door open and then try to race against time to get through. Yeah,
especially if you're like trying to make it to the services or something like that, and it's just not. Yeah, these doors are heavy. They're fire doors. They're all fire doors, so they're not made lightly. That's a very smart idea.
Check it out when you come over in a couple of weeks, and
I was going to say, I'm going to give that a go. I might just get one anyways. It sounds like such a good idea.
Yeah, like Canadian Tire, which is like the hardware store.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So I put a couple ideas on here. I think Nicole invested in these no-tie elastic shoelaces. And so they go in your shoe, like whatever, typical shoelaces, but you don't have to tie them up in a knot every time you put on your shoes. They're elastic, so they kind of spread open for your feet anyways. And they keep your foot relatively secure, depending on your capacity for that. But they're so easy, and they fit right into a stocking. They're super nice. So
you just replace your existing shoelaces with these? That's so smart. Like, who invented why have we not moved past shoelaces?
I get crap all the time for wanting Velcro shoes, and I'm like, why? They're so easy. I just think they're dope. We should have cooler casual shoes that have more Velcro.
Who's giving you shit for wanting Velcro shoes?
Honestly, I'm
send
gonna
them
throw.
to me. I'll
yeah,
talk to
I don't
them.
want to throw anybody under the bus, but some people make fun of me for it, and I'm like, I don't even care that all the shoes that come with Velcro are beige. I just think they're easy. They're good.
I don't like you getting bullied over this shoe nonsense.
Fair enough.
It's not
I
cool.
appreciate that. The last one that I put on was some Flair for your mobility aid. I think mobility aids, for the most part and historically, sometimes come off a little bit clinical. And even the cooler ones, you can put your own sort of spirit into your mobility aid. I think everybody has the right to do that, and these things aren't out of the realm of everybody's budget sometimes, and so it's really cool. You can get a cup holder, or you can get a sort of attachment that lets you put a handle for an umbrella on it, so you can.
I just saw that the Rolls people just came out with an umbrella attachment, which is really smart. You can't hold an umbrella and have two hands on a rollator at the same time.
Exactly. And so I think stuff like that is great because it gives more independence, right? It's easy. It's a no-brainer. You clip it onto the piece and then away you go. You can have your coffee and walk with an umbrella in the rain totally independently, which you wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
I mean, I also feel like that eliminates my excuse of I can't come, it's raining.
It depends on the length of the journey too, I guess. I mean, but if you're just going for a quick around the block, I mean, it's a good motivator. I think it takes that away from being demotivated.
Yeah, because also rain hats are as cool as your Velcro shoes.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I should wear both at the same time.
What else you got, Alex?
Right. So those are my stocking stuffers. But we're gonna blast into these gifts because there's loads of them.
I think this next gift is totally fits in a stocking. Is perfect for a stocking.
Okay, so we've got these 52 essential inclusion cards, and they're by Julie Stamm. So ABC inclusion cards are for children and adults. This is a gamified tool to use at home, school, and work to build kindness and compassion and respect for diverse abilities and chronic illnesses. You learn the language of inclusion and how to advocate for physical wellness and mental health for yourself and for the people around you. I think it's a great gift.
It's a great little stocking stuffer. It's super practical. I was actually featured in this deck, so that's a little bit of a shout out too. I think it's a great way. It's a great tool that calls in instead of calling out. Although anytime I'm at the airport, I feel like that's when I want to hand out these playing cards, you can speak directly to me. And maybe airports are on my mind because I just flew back from New York where one of the flight attendants asked if I was confined to a wheelchair. And I very gently tried to suggest that she use maybe different language and was kind of shut down. Well, my supervisor said we have to say confined to. And I was like, if I'd had that deck of cards, I would have been maybe show these to your supervisor. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you didn't have the handcuffs on the wheelchair or anything like that.
Yeah, confined, right? Yeah.
Right, that's what that sounds like.
Do you feel it's a bit of a Hannibal Lecter vibe when you get into they strap you into the chair to get up the stairs onto the plane? You're confined to that, but only temporarily. Right.
Okay. I think we've got something else by Julie Stamm here. She's been incredibly...
Yeah, but hold up. We are giving away 2 decks of Julie Stamm's inclusion cards to 2 lucky winners. So check them out yourself, and 2 of you will win some to put in your own stockings. But you're right. We have another product by Julie Stamm, which is a children's book called Some Days.
Yeah, and so Some Days is the perfect story to share with your child about life with multiple sclerosis or any chronic illness. So many parents worry about how to talk to their kids about MS. Julie herself has MS, so she knows what it's like talking about. And we have also 2 books to give away. And this is, again, these teachable moments are really important, I think, especially as gifts.
These are really great books. I gave one to my niece a couple of years ago and she enjoyed it. It's like storytelling it's such it doesn't feel like after school special stuff. It's just incorporated into the story. So we're really thankful to Julie for her contributions.
Yeah, I think it's important to normalize this stuff at an early age, just like anything, right? It is good. But we've talked about wellness gifts before, and these can be tricky. You have to know your audience. You shouldn't be pushy or judgy, and be careful. Be careful if you're giving unsolicited advice. On the other hand, wellness can also be expensive, and the right gift for the right person can really make a difference.
I'm really excited to talk about the MS Gym. Alex, are you familiar with the MS Gym at all?
I'm aware of the MS Gym. I know people who use it.
I mean, they're kind of everywhere, right?
They're a very dedicated legion.
I think you're describing that accurately. The MS Gym is a movement and mindset training program for people with MS. And if it sounds a little bit like a cult, Trevor Wicken definitely has the charisma to qualify as its leader. He even has a realized he had a gift in childhood origin story. And the gymmers who follow him are hardcore devotees because by all accounts, the program actually works. So it's online physiotherapy that improves symptoms using neuromuscular movement training. And the MS Gym has loads of free resources, which if you're in any online MS communities at all, you've probably already heard about them. You can find them on Facebook and YouTube. They even have an app. You can have more intense and customized programs. There's a paid subscription service also. Drum roll, please, because the MS Gym is giving away a 3-month subscription to one lucky winner.
Wow, that's good. That's like when you're on probation at work. It's like you're going to know whether you want it and whether it works by the end of it. I think that's the goal.
I think you can do a lot of repair and physiotherapy in 3 months of intensely investing in that. So yeah, that does seem like a great gift and also a great way to kick off the new year.
Yes. Yeah. All those resolutions, right? So good time to make them, especially if you win them.
Totally.
So I think next up we have the MSing link, MSing link, but cleverly we have the MSing link is a new book by Dr. Gretchen Hawley. There's definitely a physiotherapist personality type, and as a sort of cheerleader and energizer bunny vibes, Dr. Gretchen is a physiotherapist and multiple sclerosis certified specialist and founder, creator of the MSing link, an online wellness program for people with MS. She's outstanding, actually. I follow her on Instagram, and she's so great to watch. But she's a social media ray of sunshine who shares easy-to-understand, helpful tips across all of her platforms. Dr. Gretchen is giving away 5 copies of her new book, The MSing Link, The Essential Guide to Improve Walking, Strength, and Balance for People with Multiple Sclerosis.
I feel like we need to ask Dr. Gretchen if she says MSing link or MSing link. She just says it really fast, but it's spelled MSing link, the MSing link. It's very punny and clever, but yes, I also stan Dr. Gretchen. Like Trevor Wicken with the MS Gym, these bite-sized capsules of information, hot tips that you can get on social media are so great. It really blew my mind just scrolling through Instagram to see a video that she posted a couple of months ago showing a hot tip where if you have trouble just standing up without needing to push yourself up with your arms like I do, she said, try leaning more of your body weight forward. And I did it and it was so much easier. And it's like that kind of stuff where you're like, I need someone to tell me this stuff that feels so simple, but actually has a really big impact. I got to read her book and it's really great. It's very digestible. It's easy to understand. It gives some basic information too. If you're new to MS, it's going to be really valuable. So 5 winners are getting this book, and I'd love to hear from those winners and to see how the book resonates with them, because These are the things that we need to do on our own to mitigate the effects of this disease, which brings me to the next gift, which is a VR headset. And I want to give a shout out to Kathy Reagan Young of FUMS. If you're not following her in her newsletter and her podcast, you should. She's really great. She's the one who put VR physiotherapy on my radar. And if you're already incorporating VR into your own physiotherapy, please comment and let me know what games and what hardware you're using. This is a bougie gift, unless of course you amortize it against the cost of actual in-person therapy. I know you're a gamer, Alex. Like, are you into VR? Like, do you call it exercise ever?
Yeah, so I said many moons ago, I did invest in a Nintendo Wii and then eventually an Xbox with the camera. And that was more for like a weight loss journey thing. And I think it worked. It got me up. I could do stuff at home. It made life easy. I don't like gyms. I don't like really being in gyms or anything like that. They're just more of a, have to do rather than want to do. But I think it definitely makes it more accessible for everybody. So whether you've been diagnosed with a chronic illness and you're wanting to get more activity, I think VR and other types of technology like that are really useful. And even as a partner and somebody who has a very, like a big workload, let's say, and can't always make it to a gym, this is very accessible because it turns your living room into a gym or your couch, whatever your ability is.
And maybe it's something you can do together.
Totally, yeah. If your partner's into it, that's great. Nicole definitely likes going outside, and I think going outside has obviously tons of benefits and stuff like that. She's not a huge gamer, but it certainly helps me, so I dig it. And if you're into high-tech stuff, this is pretty cool. It's
evolving too. I think that we're really going to see changes in the coming months and years over how targeted this is and how programs are developed specifically for neurodegeneration, neuro repair, those kinds of things. So I am excited to become a little bit more tech savvy and just to watch this space and see what happens. Alex, you sometimes work from home. Do you always pull up to a desk, or there's some days when you're just like, screw it, I'm working from bed?
So I only worked from my bed when I was recovering from COVID. So I don't have adequate back support to sit upright in my bed all day, which might actually be a decent gift. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I should say we don't have any back supports to give away, but that's just a suggestion. Maybe next year. But a lap desk, I think, can just make life easier in general. It's more comfortable when you'd rather not, but you still have to be working. So, or you could just use it for snacks and books. That's totally acceptable as well. You do you, Lots of companies making lap desks, but the one that's, I guess, on our wish list this year is from LapGear, and you can get them on Amazon, and they look really professional, Your desk, my desk is, I love my desk. I set it up. It's got all of my stuff, gaming, work, all that crap. If I pulled this thing out, I'm pretty sure it might make my desk a bit jealous.
I think it would make my desk jelly too. I also am on the same page about having your desk like be your space and look cute. Yeah. And that's why these lap desks are so great. Boo to working through COVID. I think that's one of the downsides of being able to work from home, where now it's like, oh, well, you're sick, but you can also still work. I don't like that. And I don't want to encourage anyone to do that. But I do know with a chronic illness that sometimes when you really just can't rally or you want to be more comfortable, you may want to take to your bed and hang out there, but also not spill coffee on your laptop because you have it perched on a pillow instead of a proper lap desk.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get your hands on one of these, they're cool. Like, they have cup holders and they have pads where you can put things and they don't slide off. So they're just great for basically everything.
It's a good gift.
Yeah, it's a great gift, I think. Another great gift would be, we're speaking a lot about technology and things like that. And so another gift we are considering here is a BeCare MSLink App, which is a brand new app that lets you monitor your neurological health. You can generate reports and send them directly to your doctor. The BeCare MS app lets you identify changes which could potentially signal a relapse, that's incredible, actually. It can even alert you to other neurological conditions, and it can measure vision, balance, walking speed, hand-eye coordination, color vision, and more.
Alex, I don't know if you've ever had a neurological test, but some of the exercises that they make you do can make you feel like you're getting punked. Right? Like touch my finger, touch my nose. Like it does seem silly sometimes. You're like, how is this science? One of the tests that they do is they bang a tuning fork and put it on various places in your body. And then you tell the doctor when you stop feeling the vibration. And that monitors sensory changes. This app has taken over your phone. It takes over your phone's vibration center. And that's one of the tests. So your phone vibrates in your hand. And when the vibration changes, you let the phone know that you've noticed that change, and it can measure those sensory changes. It's just like a really cool way to use technology. And there's a whole bunch more features that, I don't know, it's so cool what your phone can do now. And an app like this, it can signal changes earlier. You can generate reports, send them right to your doctor. Like you said, it can even alert you to other neurological conditions, because as much as I like to think, like if you have MS, you can't get anything else, it's like not true. But yeah, anyway, it's a very cool new app, cutting edge technology. There are lots of features on this app that you can use for free, but to access them all, there is a paid subscription, and we are gifting one lucky winner a 1-year subscription to the BeCare app.
I kind of feel bad sometimes because, like, when you cut this off, like, they're so good. They're so good. Like, I can't imagine not going without this kind of stuff sometimes. I'm like, it's just so comprehensive. And so, especially sending this stuff to your, like, you get a year with it. And so when your year's up, you're like, oh, I don't have it anymore. And it's like, but I definitely want it. You know what I mean? It's just, it does seem like such a great thing.
Well, that's when you pay for it. That's when you're like, oh, I realize
yeah.
This is worth it. Now I'm going to stop getting it for free. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, to be fair, developers, especially developers who are doing things and developing apps of this much, with this much comprehensive functionality, do deserve to get paid. So that's fair.
Well, listen, it's hard to see your neurologist.
True.
Most of us only see our doctor once a year. And some of these things that can happen, changes, you don't notice them in the day-to-day, but using an app like this can help you measure progress and changes. And the sad reality of healthcare is that it is up to us mostly now to be like big time players in our own healthcare, and patients do better the more that they are invested, the more are aware of your own body and the changes it's going through. And, I don't know, maybe you might get an appointment sooner if you're able to send something measurable to your doctor to be like, hey, this needs to be on your radar.
Yeah, I appreciate you explaining that, because it definitely makes sense. It's true the way that things are going. I'm being very vague here, but yeah, to be engaged is very important, and this kind of adds to that as well, which is good. So we've talked about this before, but heat sensitivity is a very well documented symptom of MS. MS can also leave you frigidly cold. So temperature control is the foundation of being comfortable. And the good news is we've got gifts to manage the heat as well as your medically cold feet.
I am addicted to little Hotties, those charcoal adhesive foot warmers, and those would be a great stocking stuffer too.
Yeah, we've got those before. They're fantastic, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I buy them in bulk, and I think the employees at Amazon are like, who is this woman buying 30 foot warmers
Just
in
back
July.
up a pallet into my house. Yeah.
They also get me stopped at the airport, which is weird, but they don't take them away, so it's okay. The gift I want to give a shout out to is my mountain equipment booties. They are down-filled. They have a tread. I think they're marketed to campers to go between like the tent and the fire, which is something I will never do. But they're warm in the house. The tread keeps me from slipping. I love taking them on airplanes and to infusion clinics because those are both places where I don't want to go in my sock feet to the bathroom, but I don't want to have to keep putting my shoes on and off. And these are machine washable and they're also really warm. So that's my hot tip on keeping your feet, both of them, warm, toasty, and cozy. Oh, and I also want to talk about the Penkou portable neck fan. Have you seen this thing, Alex?
So I did check the link, which I'm sure is going to be in the show notes, and it's incredible. Like it for me, even I heat up a lot, and like this thing looks wild.
Because
I didn't even know it existed.
Portable neck fan sounds like it would be awful, like right up there with like rain hats and Velcro shoes. But it looks like Beats headphones, so it looks kind of cool. And it really does work. I'm never cold, but I would still keep this on my list just so that I could have like a portable wind machine and look like a pale and frail Beyonce in my selfies.
Yeah, talking about nice things that everybody deserves. We'll get a little bit bougie here, but rightly so. Yeah,
I think we just like we've talked about a lot of practical things that help and make life easier, but it's nice to get kind of a splurge gift too. So there's this next section is, you deserve nice things.
Yeah, definitely. We all do. And I think if, in our last episode, we talked about going out and doing things and being social and looking good. And this is part of that. So Jacqueline Lapuck is a fine jewelry artist. She went to Parsons. She interned at Vogue. And I was going to Vogue, but I won't. And not long ago, her world was rocked, like so many of ours, when she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. She turned her trauma into the Hope Collection, which she dreamt up while she was in the hospital, and is now doing what she loves to help find a cure by donating 20% of the proceeds of this collection to the cause.
Jacqueline is gifting 2 carnelian bead bracelets. They are stunning. Carnelian beads are a deep orange, and orange, she reminds us, is the color of hope. And the gemstone represents courage and endurance, which are traits that so many of us have and want to cultivate when we're living with MS. These bracelets are such a special gift, but she really is very talented, and I would encourage everyone just even to drool over the eye candy that is on her website. There are some stunning pieces, but these bracelets especially, they're so special, and I think it's awesome to be able to wear something that has that kind of symbolism. You're supporting MS, and you're also supporting an artist with MS. It doesn't get better than that.
Is she local? Are they local, the artist?
She is in the States.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're in the States, support your local artists as well. Speaking of, treating yourself and looking good at the same time, pedicures. So you can get gift cards, or you can just go out and treat yourself. But pedicures may seem like a luxury indulgence, and for me, they used to be just something that like rich people did. But MS symptoms like spasticity, tremors, upper body weakness, even fatigability, and sometimes those things can make it hard to properly care for your feet. If you need a doctor's note to back up the need to splurge on pedicures, check out Professor G's MS-Selfie newsletter. We'll link that in the show notes. Definitely don't look at that when or just after you ate. I did that this morning at breakfast, and it's not a good idea.
Because he's posted some pictures of what can happen when you can't look after your toenails properly. And it is definitely a cautionary tale.
Sorry, I'm laughing only because I'm glad that you clarified that. The newsletter is brilliant. The pictures are not for the faint of heart. So, yeah, prevention is important, and so stay ahead of those problems. If your toenails are causing you pain, you need to seek a medical professional about it.
I mean, I always say you can't spell pedicure without cure. But these can be things, these personal grooming and care, it can be hard to talk about. It can be a little bit taboo. It can be hard to ask for help when it's difficult reaching your toes or caring for them. So you may need a medical pedicure. You may need a spa pedicure. It's a nice gift to have, and looking after your feet, it's going to keep you more ambulatory, more mobile, even if you're just transferring. Foot care is actually really important. Okay, while we're on the topic of grooming, Alex, and particularly your grooming, do you have a skincare routine?
So yeah, with the abundant lack of hair, I usually have a lot more skin to try and take care of, but most nights I just splash some warm water on my face. Pretty simple, and I call it a day, but that's usually to Nicole's chagrin because I leave copious amounts of water on the counter. I'm careless like that. And but when I want to be fancy, I do have an olive oil-based moisturizer that I use all around my head and on my hands and stuff like that.
You told us in the last episode that you were kind of a neat freak, and I feel like that story is unraveling. Like the water all over, Carrie would hate that. He would come for you for that. That's like his pet peeve.
What I do now is I have a towel that I lay underneath where the water would normally have gone, and then that catches all the water. So I adjust.
Okay.
I can be sloppy, but I adjust.
Okay, well, it's winter. I think you need to use your bougie moisturizer at least once or twice a day now, not just on special occasions.
Yeah, I don't want to get flaky or whatever.
And I want to tell you about Indie Lee, because Indie Lee is a line of clean beauty and skincare products. The company was founded by Indie Lee after a life-threatening health scare that led her to want people to consider what they put on their skin as much as we consider what we put into our bodies. And the company is really invested in supporting the autoimmune community in general. They have gifted us the most fantastic bundle of products. There is a brightening cleanser, a CoQ10 toner, facial oil, an eye serum, the Eye Recover Mind and Body Gel. The whole value is like $210. It is an awesome product bundle of just self-care and luxury and wellness. And one lucky winner is going to get this. I love these products also. It's really great company.
That is that sounds like a big ticket item. I think I'd be crossing my fingers for that one for sure.
Yeah. So, and okay, we're getting a little bit into the pricier big ticket items now. I was recently creeping the Lululemon website looking for gift ideas for certain tween in my life. I saw these cropped puffer jackets and I was immediately outraged. That was my initial reaction, because I'm like, why do you want to be warm but have your belly button be cold? It was like, it seemed like the stupidest product to me. But then I remembered that I was going to New York City, which for me, travel means a lot of time sitting in a transport chair. And it's actually really uncomfortable to sit in a chair with a full length or a fuller length or a bum covering winter coat. And so I 180'd. I bought this jacket. I did. And it had a serious impact on the quality of my trip. It was, I think we don't always think about, even if you have used mobility aids, occasional wheelchair use for me, it's easy to forget how uncomfortable some of our clothes are sitting down. And a crop jacket is more comfortable. It just looks better also when you're seated. And so I'm a convert. I haven't bought anything for my niece, but I bought Christmas shopping and I just ended up with something for me. So I'm recommending the Lululemon Wunder Puff cropped jacket. I actually emailed Lululemon to say like, hey, have you thought about marketing this to seated body types? And they ghosted me because they're Lululemon. But the bigger point I would say is that, you know, when you are looking for adaptive styles or clothing that works for your disability, it's not always in adaptive, or it's not exclusive to adaptive brands, and you may find it universally something somewhere else. And actually it did cover my belly button, so.
I was going to say, what happened when you did stand up in places in New York?
Okay, so they have two models. There's like the cropped puffer, and then I don't remember if they call it like the super cropped or the ultra cropped. Like that one still fills me with a bit of rage. That's like, that's like a throwback to being in my early 20s and going to the club but not wanting to wear a coat, like just wanting to look cute over being warm. But yeah, no, this one actually, it was perfect. Super lightweight. I could scrunch it in my bag, but I was warm enough. It had lots of pockets, hidden pockets. I could shove my calves in there. It's a good product. It is expensive, but I do think it's going to be one of those things that lasts for years and years and years. So.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going with where I'm spending my money nowadays is quality. Like I'm always conscious about the cost of things, and but having something that's robust and will last for 10 years, in theory is that helps me think about buying that product more. And to be honest, speaking of something that is quite robust, and cool is, these byACRE rollators, right? So byACRE Carbon Fiber Rollators, they've been on this list before. And it's making this cut again because the company continues to make the sleekest, sexiest, lightest weight rollators in the world. byACRE's constantly innovating. We see that all the time. And we love it because people who need mobility aids deserve to have options. We are very excited to be giving away a carbon fiber rollator in blue, courtesy of Prairie Velo. If you haven't seen the new color, be sure to check it out. It's dark blue, and it'll go with everything, but it'll also let you express some personality and individuality as well. This is, to be specific, this is the byACRE Carbon Fiber Rollator.
No, we did a whole episode actually on the pod about navigating the intimidating world of mobility aids. And we interviewed Suzanne from Prairie Velo. If you haven't already checked out that episode, we'll put that in the show notes too. Check it out because it can be hard to figure out what mobility aid is right for you and what you need. But if you need a rollator, this is a really great one to have. And the blue is a really cool new color. I'm so excited for whoever's going to win this. It's super awesome. Yeah. Sorry. I just wanted to clarify. I got a bit off the mark here because I think we're actually, are we giving away two? The next one is the part of what makes the byACRE's carbon ultralight rollator so exceptional is also what makes it so expensive. The carbon fiber is pricey, so it's very exciting to announce that byACRE has just launched the Nordic Pioneer. It's made of eco-friendly materials. It's the next generation rollator and has the same sleek look as the Carbon Ultralight. It weighs 5.9 kilos, which is oddly almost the exact same amount of weight that my cat is. It's compact and foldable, same as my cat. And byACRE claims that the Nordic Pioneer is virtually scratch-proof. I'm paraphrasing, but it sounds like a challenge, right? And best of all, the Nordic Pioneer comes in at a lower price point than the Ultralight. So it's great to have more options. Of course, the best price point is free. And you could be one of the first people to try this awesome new rollator, because here's great news. They're gifting one of these Nordic Pioneers to one lucky winner. Super exciting. We love partnering with brands that are in the community, that want to support this community, that are creating more stylish options for us and choices. And it's super exciting to see what byACRE is doing, because we need more options, and it's great to have something at another price point. I'm excited. I want to do some shopping, some decorating. I am feeling holly jolly. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, I don't normally get this excited this early, but I feel like with this episode, it's just like, it just kicks off the holiday season really well.
It totally does. That is a wrap on our 2023 Tripping on Air Holiday Gift Guide. The contest is open to residents of Canada and closes December 7th at midnight. To enter, go to ami.ca/TOA contest. Winners will be announced throughout December on our YouTube channel at Tripping on Air Podcast, so make sure you're following. You can also find the winners on the contest entry page and on my Instagram at @MS_Tripping on Air, or head to trippingonair.com for more details. Huge thanks to Julie Stamm, the MS Gym, Dr. Gretchen Hawley, Jacqueline Lapuck, Jewelry, Indy Lee, BeCare MS, Prairie Velo, and byACRE for supporting the MS community and for making such cool products and services. Did you discover a great product this year that you want other trippers to know about? Drop your idea in the comments. We want to hear from you. Happy holidays, trippers, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to Tripping on Air. Don't forget to visit us at trippingonair.com.